on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Also brought to you in part by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com or your local Ford dealer and score a Ford SUV today. Coke Zero Sugar, and refreshingly delicious. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Roll Tide and welcome to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Welcome, everybody. This is Roger Hoover alongside our producer and engineer, Tom Stipe, and we're glad you're with us tonight at Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. We'll start the show with a tip of the cap to the Alabama men's basketball team. Unfortunately, the season came to a close on Friday night in the Sweet 16, but we're certainly proud of all that Nate Oates' team accomplished this season, including a second SEC championship in the past 3 seasons. Later in the show tonight, we'll talk basketball with our color analyst, Bryan Passink, to recap a great season for the Alabama Crimson Tide. But we'll start the show by talking about swimming. Kensey McMahon is here, and we'll discuss her 2 NCAA championships that she earned last week in Knoxville. Then we'll hit the links with men's golf head coach Seawell. He and the Crimson Tide enjoyed a victory milkshake after winning the Linger Longer Invitational last week for Alabama's second tournament title of the season. Fans, you can keep up to date with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. Kensey McMahon joins us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
You can trust your car to the place with the star. With tech running your engine, enjoy your hobbies near and far. Fill your car with all your friends and love the time you spend. And trust your car to the Texaco Star.
When you fill up with Texaco with TechRun, you get unbeatable mileage to help fuel what you love to do. Download the Texaco app to find a station near you.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the Ferguson Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryan Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. With zero sugar and refreshingly delicious is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Find out for yourself. Glad to welcome you back to Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover, joined by a 2-time NCAA champion this season from the Alabama swimming and diving team, Kensey McMahon. Roll Tide, Kensey.
Roll Tide. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, congratulations. A couple of wins at the NCAA championships just over a week ago in Knoxville. How are you feeling going into this NCAA championship meet?
I was super excited heading into my last one. This entire 5th year has been really good for our team, and so I was excited to finish it out on a strong note.
So you win the NCAA championship in first of 500 freestyle. What led to success in that event?
I've been working on a lot of different things with my coach this year. We've been working on my walls, a little bit of speed, power, all the things that translate into a little bit of a shorter race for me. And I also have some really awesome training partners that have helped me throughout the entire season.
What was the mindset as you got in the pool ready to go for that meet?
I just wanted to race. I love racing. It doesn't matter who I'm competing against. It's just a fun part of the sport for me. And I was feeling confident with what my coach and I were doing all year, so I was ready to go.
Really exciting to see you earn the victory in the 500 freestyle and then the 1650 freestyle as well. Definitely a longer distance. How do you train differently for an event like that?
I honestly don't really train that differently. We'll mix up the days of the week depending on if we're doing speed, power, mile, pace, but it's pretty similar with freestyle. The only difference is when I mix up strokes.
What were the celebrations like winning those 2 titles?
The 500 free definitely didn't feel real. I could hear the team getting super excited, but it wasn't until I looked at the scoreboard like 3 different times that it really set in. But it was very fun.
Well, that's definitely cool. And then the podium stand as well. Those moments have to mean a lot to you.
They really do. I think it shows that even though hard work takes a lot of time, it definitely pays off. And I was super grateful to have my parents there and my teammates and my coaches.
And especially competing for the final time as a member of the Crimson Tide on that elevated stage of the NCAA championships. Was that just a full circle moment when you think about your entire Alabama career, it ending with championships like that?
Absolutely. I mean, they call it Title Town for a reason, and I would definitely say I'm built by Bama. I've tried to take full advantage of all the amazing resources we have here between academics, all the resources we have within the swim program, and as well as the community to just try to be an Alabama athlete.
Well, the first individual swimming title since 1984, the first swimming and diving national championship for the Tide since 2004. When you hear numbers like that, does it put it in perspective how special your week was?
It definitely shows how the team has been able to grow over the past few years. We talked about the rising tide when I was being recruited, what seems like forever ago. And I think that our team has really just been able to grow throughout the 5 years that I've been here. And so it was exciting to be able to end on that note.
Well, we mentioned as well you were a 5th-year senior coming back for this season with the Crimson Tide. What went into your thought process when deciding whether or not to possibly go pro or look at some other options and then versus coming back to Alabama for this 5th year?
I've loved everything about this team. They've really shaped me into who I am today and have been my #1 supporters from the start. And so there were a group of us that decided that we wanted to come back for our 5th year and really try to do something special with this team and see what legend we could leave.
And you certainly did that this season. Great results for you, great results for the men's team, as well as the rest of your women's teammates for Alabama swimming and diving. And you've gotten to see some change in this program with Margot Geer taking over as the head coach of the program. Just what do you like about Margot from the start?
I think she's super inspirational. She always knows how to talk to us, not just as athletes, but as people too. She really cares about us both in the water and out of the water. And I think when you have a head coach and then a whole coaching staff that really cares about your overall well-being, it makes the biggest difference.
And especially with the resume she brings to town, that had to be impressive to you.
Absolutely. I knew her as a swimmer, and so she translates all those skills into being an awesome head coach. I mean, you have to be disciplined, dedicated, all of the above, and she really carries that from her incredible swimming career into now her awesome coaching career.
How did she help you the most in training? How did she help elevate your style?
So I don't always swim with Margot. I usually swim with Reed. He's our distance coach. So while Margot has definitely been there on the speed side and been super supportive, Reed and I have really developed a great relationship over the 4 years that I've been able to work with him. And what we've done this year is just try to be super consistent. Consistency is definitely key in this sport, and he's helped me not only learn the importance of that, but also hold me accountable to try to do that each day.
Well, that's really special. Again, national championships for the Crimson Tide in the 500 freestyle and then the 1650 freestyle as well. Again, the 1650 freestyle just 0.10 seconds from tying your own school record that was set back in 2020. You remember that as well?
Yes, that was a really, really special moment. It was kind of like the first big swimming moment I feel like I'd had in college, and the entire team was just super supportive. We had been having a really good week, and it was a fun way to end that meet.
Certainly was. So again, great success for you. How about for your teammates all throughout that week in Knoxville? What made that such a special week?
We were a really close-knit group. We are a close-knit group. We just had a lot of fun outside of the water, which I think helped translate into fast swimming. A fast swimmer is having fun. And we were singing karaoke, we were joking around, we were being each other's biggest supporters, and I think that made the biggest difference last week.
You got to be proud of Ryan White and the steps she continues to take, a great level competitor for the Crimson Tide.
Absolutely. Ryan's a great friend and a great competitor, and even though we don't swim the same events, I think it's cool that we've been able to see each other grow over the past several years, and we're always learning new things from each other, whether it's a different dynamic warm-up outside of the pool or different things within the water. She's really great.
Well, great success for Kensey McMahon. We'll continue talking with her when we come back to Baumhower's in just a moment. You know, March Madness is here, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhower's. Get a pound of their world-famous wings for only $9.99. Baumhower's Victory Grille is the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide this March. Baumhower's Victory Grille, legendary fun, legendary food. We'll have more with Kensey McMahon coming up next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. We continue with you live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. Roger Hoover joined by Alabama swimmer Kensey McMahon. And we mentioned you won a couple of national championships at the NCAA championships, but then after that, really no time to rest. Tell everyone what you were up to last week.
So right after NCAAs, I flew straight to Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center for national team camp.
How exciting was that? How much fun did you have getting to interact with? I know a lot of people you've looked up to for a long time, maybe knew from before, but now you're on the same playing field.
It was a great week. It's really hard training up at altitude, especially coming off of a meet as big as NCAAs, but it just being in that environment, everyone's super encouraging and just all trying to push to be better for Team USA, so I think that definitely made a big difference.
So that's certainly a good step forward for you in your career, and what is going to be next for you after you leave Tuscaloosa?
So I'm transitioning into my pro phase of my career, but the thing with swimming is there's no handbook for going pro, and so I have my summer competitions lined up and my training figured out from there, but beyond that, definitely trying to navigate that. I'm not a super big name in the swimming world, and so trying to figure out how sponsorships work. I currently don't have anything of that nature, and so really just trying to learn and absorb as much information, and I have a great support system, and hopefully some more people will be able to join that and believe in me as well.
Yeah, who are some friends or some mentors that have been helping you out as you start making these steps?
Ryan has been super helpful. She's kind of already navigated that a little bit. But really just learning, I mean, everyone with Team USA, with Margot, she's been through it. Everyone just is happy to help and give information, and just trying to absorb it all.
Well, I mentioned in the last segment you were a fifth-year senior on this team. Did you feel the pressure to step up as a leader? How did you try and show some leadership for this Alabama team this year?
As a fifth year, I think it's super important to know that the seniors have a very important role, and so trying to find that balance between being a vocal leader but also giving those seniors their shot at having leadership. And so really this year, instead of a super vocal role, which I feel like I had more in like my junior and senior year, trying to be more of a mentor to a lot of the younger girls and share my experiences and just be there for them in any way possible.
Well, a lot of good moments for you in your Alabama career. We mentioned the 2 NCAA titles that we've been talking about a lot from just a couple weeks ago in Knoxville, but even going back to the SEC championships, understand you had some success there as well, winning gold in the 1650 freestyle. What was that like?
It was super exciting. So I won in 2020, and that was a really cool moment. Our team had been through a lot that year, and I really think it just showed the perseverance that my coaches, my teammates, we all had. And so then it was a long couple of years trying to earn that title back. So definitely a very sweet last SECs.
For our fans who might not be as familiar, just how strong is SEC swimming? How much does the competition you go throughout the regular season help you for the postseason?
The SEC is the most competitive conference. There's so many teams, there's so much depth, and so everyone just really steps up when it comes time to that championship season. Everyone wants to swim for their team. It's such a loud and exciting environment, and you want to be a part of that in any way possible. So I think our dual meets really helped us this year in that each dual meet really ramped up in competition, and it really built the momentum for the whole season heading into the last 2 meets.
And you got to love that college atmosphere too that you're able to have at those meets. I understand there's a lot of Roll Tide chants, maybe the fight song every now and then. Do you guys do a lot of that stuff?
Absolutely. We're super loud. We're cheering for each other. We actually had quite a few fans this year, which was really exciting now that we have our new pool. But yeah, we're really loud. We're, especially being a co-ed team, we bounce off of the guys' energy, they bounce off of our energy, and we always do the fight song at the end of every dual meet.
Well, that's really special. So some great moments for you in your Alabama career, and again, starting to make your way through the professional ranks and on the international stage. We really can't wait to watch all of your progress that you make over the next few years, and we're just, again, proud of everything you've done for Alabama, and we know you're going to continue to represent the University of Alabama very well. But Kensey, Kensey McMahon, just thank you so much for your time tonight. Roll Tide.
Thank you. Roll Tide.
Saying congratulations to our national champion, Kensey McMahon, winning 2 NCAA titles just over a week ago in Knoxville at the NCAA Swimming Championships. The Everwood Performance of the Week goes to the Alabama men's golf team, who swept a team and individual tournament title last week at the 2023 Linger Longer Invitational. The 20th ranked Crimson Tide scored a 4-under par 850, while freshman Nick Dunlap secured the individual medalist honor with a 10-under par 206. Dunlap was also named the SEC Freshman of the Week for the second time this season, and that is your Everwood Performance of the Week, brought to you by Everwood, wood treated right. The head coach of the men's golf team, Seawell, joins us next here on Hey Coach. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change?
Fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
When time matters most, you go with what's tried and true. That's tried and true John Deere equipment and Tri-Green service. Tough chores don't stand a chance with a John Deere 4044M tractor. And right now you can get one with 0% financing. With a 43 horsepower engine, power reverser transmission, and a 10-year powertrain warranty, this John Deere helps you work with confidence day after day. So stop by one of our 29 Alabama and Tennessee locations or visit us online at TriGreenEquipment.com.
Offer ends January 31, 2023. 0% APR for 60 months, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Tracy, an employee at BASF in Alabama. As an engineer, I enjoy working on projects that challenge me. It's rewarding to work for a winning team who values safety and its customers. At BASF, we create chemistry around the world through our people and our products. To join a winning team and a great place to work, visit basf.us/Alabama. That's basf.us/Alabama. BASF, we create chemistry.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home and stay in comfort and enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 bar and restaurant. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. We continue tonight on Hey Coach at Baumhower's Victory Grille. This is Roger Hoover, now joined by head men's golf coach for the University of Alabama, Seawell. Roll Tide, Coach.
Roll Tide, Roger. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you here. Your family's here. Some members of your golf team as well.
That's
It's
right.
an exciting time for you guys.
It is, especially after last week. I think the guys did a really good job, so I'm glad you didn't have me on 2 weeks ago, so it's nice to be on this week.
Well, we could have gotten you ready for that maybe, but
That's right.
The Linger Longer Invitational, first of all, tell us about the course. Tell us about the approach you guys had going into that tournament.
Yeah, it's a tournament we play, I guess 14 straight years now, except for the COVID year. So, but it's a tournament, it's a golf course that I'm very familiar with. They actually used to play an old match play PGA Tour event there back in the old in the 90s. I think Davis Love may have won back when they did pods at local places. So it's a Jack Nicklaus golf course. It's a great golf course, and so we know a little bit more about it. We had just come off a poor week at Cabo, and that's athletics, and I think our guys did a really good job of responding the week of practice, and then it was nice to go to a course that we knew, and so we could get to work, and so it's got a great feel. We've won it 6 times now, and so we'll probably have to go back again. So look forward to it.
I think you will. And you didn't just win the tournament. You're 14 under par as well. So that's everybody contributing to get such a low score, right?
It really was. Yeah, it was a team effort. I was really proud of. We played with Vanderbilt, who's the number one, consensus number 1 ranked team in the country, Georgia Tech and Georgia in the last round. So, with about 9 holes to play, it was really anybody's tournament. We may have been up a shot or right tied here or there. And how our guys responded to that situation, I call it winning time, and they responded like winners in front of such good players. Like I said, Vanderbilt had kind of created a little bit of an aura. They've won the last 4 tournaments, a couple of them by a lot. And so they had kind of created this aura that they were this massive team to beat or whatever. And the way we responded to the back 9, especially with a chance to win, that's where you as a coach step back, players play, and to see them with a chance to win how they played makes me very proud of them.
And that's going to help for later on in the year when you're going to see Vanderbilt again at SEC championships, possibly NCAAs as well.
Absolutely. We've always had a philosophy. We're going to play against the best, and we're going to go all over to do that. We're not just going to stay in our backyard, and we've done that. And so, we've seen Vanderbilt the last 4 weeks in tournaments, and so I think that familiarity helped us a little bit. We know they're good. We respect them. I've known Scott. Scott was here at one time with me, and so we respected what their team is doing. But we kept seeing it. I think the more you see something, the more you believe either you can or you can't. And our players believe they could. They believe if we did the right things, we can play with them. And I think the only way you find that out is you play with them week in and week out. And so I think that showed itself, on the back 9.
Well, some great results, again, from everybody to contribute to being 14 under par. But how about freshman Nick Dunlap? He was the SEC Freshman of the Week for a second time this year after he won the medalist honors at that event.
I love that. Yeah, Nick did a great job. He's a big-time recruit, right? From Alabama. Lives here parents live here in Tuscaloosa now, and so he's been a great player his whole life. He came to our camp when he was just a little kid, 11 or 12 years old, and so I've known Nick for a long time. He's very gifted, and he came in here. He's won the U.S. Junior and won a lot of things. Played in the U.S. Open this last year, but the transition of college, some injuries with wrist here and there. It probably slowed him up a little bit to what he was expecting to be able to do when he first got here, and he finally got healthy, and that's a credit to our training staff. Clark Halter, who also works with basketball too, and others have done a really good job of getting him healthy, and it started showing about 4 weeks ago. He was healthy for the first time, and we got a chance to see he got to practice the right way and to do the things, and so once again, I think he showed who I think he's going to be the rest of the year, one of the best players in college golf.
You mentioned his transition to collegiate golf, and everybody you recruit had great honors in junior golf, high school golf, and leading into their collegiate career. But what is that transition like? What's the toughest part of it?
Well, I think, first, golf's an individual game. And, and they all play on their high school team, but that's really more fun. That's their friends, and they're doing that. And so they do that for a segment, but they're doing the majority of what they do on their own, the summer golf, individual golf, and they're always doing that. They practice when they want to do that. They set their schedule and they go. And the first thing you do is you come in, and all of a sudden you're on a group. You're a team. There's other people. We got to do things this way, and we structure our practices. We structure how we want things to do because we want to build a team. I think it's the best part about it. So I think the biggest thing is just fitting into a new team, to new guys who are really good, and you're not the best player. The 10% keeps becoming a different 10% when you get to school, and so I think the biggest thing though is just school on your own, classes, going to school, mama's not doing your laundry anymore, and then fitting into a team aspect, which pretty much almost all of our players have had, it takes a little time to do that.
Certainly does. So great work by Nick Dunlap, as he was the medalist again in the Linger Longer. Cannon Claycomb, who's in the building tonight, won medalist honors at the Rod Myers back in the fall. And just how good of a fall did you guys put together just help get you ready for what you're doing this spring?
Yeah, a really good one. I'm really proud of that. We had a poor year last year. We're not going to hide behind it. We've talked about it. Cannon was a returner from last year's team and, did a really good job in the regionals, but he's a competitor. But the part I like about Cannon also is he embraces the team part. And our team didn't do well last year. He took a lot of that on his own shoulders, and he goes, I want to do things. I want us to be better, with the recruiting, an older team, and then the new recruits from Jonathan and Nick coming in. We knew we were going to be good. That first tournament was huge, though. To get off to the start we did, to win Duke, to do what Cannon did, and that first tournament, and when Cannon's on fire, he just zooms. And he kind of walked away, and he had a chance. It was Nick and Ponder on our team were actually battling with him. I think we finished 1, 2, 3 in the first tournament, which I was very proud of. And I think that first tournament set kind of buried last year and kind of said, this is who we're going to be this year.
And you guys were also keeping up with a football victory that same day, right?
Yes, on the green, playing Texas. And I don't want to get into the fan part of us, or anything like that. We couldn't get a first down, and we're behind the green. And, Cannon's making birdies, so now we're not real worried about his individual. He's up by like 5 or 6, and we pretty much had the team part done. And so I thought it was, there's a part of me going, I'm the coach. I can't watch the game because I feel like that would be terrible. I don't think that Coach Saban was on GolfStat during the Texas game just to see how we were doing. And so I said, I'm not going to, but our players were. And there's some great photos of our guys literally watching it as that we made the field goal to win the game in the end. And I think people thought we were getting excited because Cannon won. No, we were just getting excited because we beat Texas in football.
Really good day for Will Reichert and Cannon Claycomb, Bryce Young, and also Aaron Jordan, who was keeping up with it in the press box. Keep an eye on both. Your outstanding sports information director. That was a pretty good day for him.
He does a great job, of course. And I was wondering if he was sending texts down to Coach Saban, let him know how golf was doing.
Yeah, we'll ask Coach next time.
Please do.
But we'll continue talking some Alabama golf with Coach Seawell coming up in a moment as you're listening to Hey Coach. It's presented by Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to find a local agent for auto, home, and life insurance. Call Alfa. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
At Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy. With only simple ingredients, water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar. Or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect's not easy.
Here at Payless Drugs, we continue to be just what the doctor ordered. We know getting the medicine you need is especially important during these unique times. And for your safety and convenience, we offer a drive-through at every location. Plus, we have prescription delivery and contactless pickup at all locations. Now's the time to take care of your immunization needs. Stop by any of our convenient locations today.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh,
Hold on, just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This season, all refreshing Bama highlights are presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, brewed locally in Alabama and served to fans across the Southeast. Certainly a highlight for the Crimson Tide golf team, a win at the Linger Longer Invitational. But, Coach, I know there's some important golf coming up. What's next for the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, we started preparation today for the Mossy Oak Invitational right over in West Point, Mississippi. Mississippi State will be hosting. Excited about that. We played there a couple weeks ago. We're going to play again tomorrow, try to get a couple extra practice rounds. I don't know much other than I know the field. We've never played in it before. The field is really good. We've got about 5 or 6 SEC teams, I think, us and Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Auburn, LSU. I may be missing one here or there, Tennessee. So it'll give us it's going to be a great field, a great an opportunity to do what we did last week. And that's what we talked about this morning. Our message was, I was really proud of our guys. Like we said, Cabo, we didn't play very well, and we finished 13th. And so how we responded, that was very important. And I think our guys did a great job. But it's also very easy to kind of get your focus after a tough loss. I think it's easy to turn that way. What happens after success sometimes I think it's a little easier to let go of the rope. And, we challenged our guys this morning as we prepare for this week to be just as focused, just as hungry, just as, doing the everyday process or everyday things to win. And that's why we won. We didn't win just because we're good. We didn't just win because it was lucky the ball went in our hole or whatever. We won because of how we prepared. And so I'm excited to see how we respond to the success. I believe in our team. I think we're really good, and I think it's just a chance I think we're that good, but we have to do that over and over and over again. I think it's real easy to say that. When you start doing week in and week out and week in and week out, that's when you start setting yourself as one of the teams to beat.
Of course, you want consistency. Do you like the depth that you have this year?
I do. I think our team's really well. Like you said last week, everybody contributed. Everybody gave us a score that helped us win. So I think we have that. I think I'm really proud of our team. It gets along great. We even got along great last year. Chemistry wasn't our problem. It was probably coaching last year. But this year, our chemistry has stayed really nice and stayed really good. But we starting to have a little bit more of the competition on the golf course again. Those are the things, players healthily competing against each other to get better is really the key ingredient to being prepared at tournaments. And I'm starting to see that. We have enough depth to do that. The guys, this week we'll say to play tomorrow, and we'll kind of play a game. Crimson versus white, whatever you want to call it, and we'll play for a Coke or a milkshake or something like that. But those are the reasons why I think we're good. We actually, the back end of our lineup is able to help the front end.
Well, you said milkshake. Everyone loves the victory milkshakes. Great tradition that, again, started years ago, and you got to continue it with the Linger Longer a couple weeks ago. How fun was it to see Alabama fans tweeting you that they were getting milkshakes celebrating your win?
I love it. It's gone a little viral for a little golf coach, I guess, or whatever. And I want to give that a shout out to my dad. He taught me that when we were little. We would play if it was basketball, and he said every time we won, I was like, even when I was like 8 or 9 years old, we'd stop and get a milkshake. He said, it tastes like a winner, doesn't it? And I went, yeah. And I didn't know this, when he was doing it. He was just being a good dad. But it gives you a chance to celebrate, the 24 hours instead of just do that. And so I was proud. Been doing it since I was a kid. I've always done it since I've always been a coach for 31 years now. I've done it after every victory. And I I'm proud that Alabama has adopted that a little bit. I probably need an NIL deal. Don't you think so on
probably
that?
Think so, but I think you marketed it pretty well already.
My stomach goes on that one a little bit. I could maybe get a big and short contract somewhere. But no, I love it because I think our players, it's inside them too, and our old players, but now our new players. Hey, coach, we get a milkshake today, and so that was the only thing after the round. I said, boys, you get to choose, and I guess I better be careful here. I'll go. You want to go here or there? And they go, let's go there, and that's where we went and got a milkshake.
There you go. So, again, fans have really taken to that with their own milkshakes, and now the Swinging Elephant gear that before only the golf team had, but now everyone has a chance to be part of the Swinging Elephant Club. I joined this fall. Love wearing the gear, the hat, the shirt. You have so many different options now.
We do. Thank you, and I appreciate your support on that. We have so many people who've done it. It's $200 to join. You get a golf shirt, a T-shirt, and a hat. We used to wear the hat, and I was always worried from an NCAA compliance issue because people would come and offer our players money for their hat. And I'm like, why are they offering for the hat? They said, you can't get this logo anywhere. And I went, my marketing mind went off like that. I said, well, maybe we should do this a little bit. And so it has been a big part of Alabama golf for about 15 years now. And so people have been so generous to be part of it. And there's nothing better. I saw even on the game up in Louisville, when they pan into the crowd, you always see a handful of them every time you see it on TV. And I'm very proud of that. I go to football games, and I always try to stop and just say thank you because they're supporting our program. And so, yes, if you want to go on there and do it, one of our former players in GA is Sims Abney. He's running for us, and he's doing an incredible job. And it's been you can get the gear. People always ask, where can you get the gear? Well, you can get the gear now.
Join the Swinging Elephant Club. Well, I know fans are enjoying that as they continue seeing your team, again, closing out the regular season at the Mossio Collegiate, then the SEC Championships right around the corner, April 19th to the 23rd. You got to be excited to get back to Sea Island.
We are. What a great place. What a great venue for a championship. They play a tour event there, and there's so much history there. There's so many great players. I think this will be our 25th year at Sea Island. Even before I got here, and so it may be 24. But that being said, there's so many great players from the SEC that have, and it's so cool when you can go to the same venue and over and over and over again because records mean something, everything means something, and there's always a story. Every team has a story of this or that, and we have one, and we've been very successful there a few times, which has been helpful, and so. It's the best conference in the country. You win there. You have if you're good enough to win the SEC, then you're good enough to win the national championship.
And you got to love this time of the year, getting ready for not only that, but the NCAA regionals in mid-May, and then the championships will be in Scottsdale at the end of May.
It's my favorite time of year. I mean, it was in the 80s again, and the flowers are blooming, and you can hear Augusta the chirping of Augusta's song every other time on ESPN. We got great basketball going on. I know it was our team was gutted like everybody from Alabama. We were following so close because we love our sport so much, and that we really it just shows how hard athletics is, to be honest with you. But it's the greatest time of year. You got March Madness, you've got golf, you've got the Masters, and then that just bleeds right into our SEC championship, right into the regionals, and right into nationals. So it gives me chills every time this time of year.
Well, thinking about the Masters, Alabama alums in good shape heading into it next week?
Yeah, I mean, I think Justin, he's taking a couple weeks off, and I always think he'll do well there because I think he wants to so bad. And I think that's, some people say you want something too bad. I don't agree with that. If you don't want something bad enough, and he needs to putt good. That's what he needs to do. He doesn't need to want it less. He just needs to putt good. And so I think he will. I think this could be, a chance for him to do something special, and it would be my favorite one if he ever got a chance to win. Any of our alumni, this is my favorite tournament of all the majors. You can put all four of them up there. If they let me just pick which one I would win, I would pick the Masters every time because it's my favorite week. I was raised near there, and what a beautiful place.
Would you have a chance to get back, say, on a Sunday final round if he's in contention?
Well, I did hear from his dad, so yeah. I mean, we don't have. We're off that day on purpose.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we're off Saturday and Sunday. That way, boys. Yes,
fire up the van. They'll all go. Yeah.
We're off on Saturday and Sunday of the Masters every year if we're not scheduled a tournament, and I've pretty much gotten out of that. That's like scheduling a tournament during Alabama-Texas football game. You don't do that.
Not at all. Well, we look forward to what's coming up, not only for Justin, but for your golf team this season. Coach Seawell, just thank you so much. Congratulations on the win last week, and best of luck. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate everybody. And I want to congratulate Kensey right here. What a great accomplishment. The first time in what you said, 1984? Is that what I heard?
For an individual, she's the first to win 2 swimming national championships.
Roll Tide to that.
That's very good. Jay Seawell, everyone. Roll Tide, thanks.
Thank you.
That is the head coach of the Crimson Tide men's golf team, Jay Seawell. We appreciate him for his time. And our first question to the coach tonight was brought to you by Alabama 811. You can always contact 811 before you dig to know what's below. Call 811 or visit al811.com. You're listening to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. When we come back, we'll close out the show by talking some basketball with Bryan Passink, our color analyst on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and more. RJ Young will empower your office to be the modern office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment, and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com.
Communities don't just happen. They're built by people. From the big moments to the small acts of kindness. It's the authentic connections we make that define us. At Alfa Insurance, we know that every day you're building things that are worth protecting. Because for us, this is more than coverage. It's who we are. Alfa Insurance, building tomorrow together.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last time out? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge-of-your-seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the ifs in sports. Regions helps you embrace the infinite life.
Member FDIC.
Yellowhammer Brewing is proud to sponsor the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yellowhammer Brewing has been crafting fine beers for the state of Alabama for 12 years running. Their beers include a variety of classic styles, including their latest release, Yellowhammer Gold, a light, easy-drinking American lager. These guys are local and doing great things for their community. You can find their beers at grocery stores, restaurants, and craft beer shops throughout the state. Check them out at yellowhammerbrewing.com. Make your next pint of Yellowhammer and roll Tide.
We continue on Hey Coach, and it's time for our basketball conversation with Bryan Passink. That's presented by CB&S Bank. Bank anywhere at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy again. This is Roger Hoover. Great to be with you from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. We go now to the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline and say hello and roll tide to Bryan Passink, who calls games on the radio along with Chris Stewart and Tom Stipe for Alabama men's basketball. And he was there in Louisville on Friday night as, unfortunately, the season came to a close for Alabama, falling to San Diego State in the Sweet 16. But, Bryan, roll tide as we look back on this season. There's so much to be proud of for Nate Oates and this men's basketball team with what they accomplished this year. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an incredible year. I mean, one of the best, if not the best, in school history to win the SEC regular season, the tournament title, the most ever wins in Alabama basketball history, number one overall national ranking, number one seed in the NCAA tournament. So much to be proud of, just an incredible year. And like every other number one seeds, the season ended a little too soon. I mean, I've never seen a year like this where there has. I mean, actually, nobody has, because it's historic to not have a number one seed even in the Elite Eight, to not have a 1, 2, or 3 seed in the Final Four is something we've never seen before. This was one of those years that you hope for chalk through the tournament, because Alabama had its first ever number one seed, and it was a number one overall seed. But this was a bad year to be a number one seed, as they all went down much earlier than expected. But even though the final game was a disappointment, and this team hoped to go to a Final Four and compete for a national championship, doesn't take away the incredible run that they had for the last several months.
What's the game, what's the moment that's going to stick with you the most from years to come when you look back on this past season?
Well, I've just fallen in love with this team on and off the floor for what they've accomplished. You know, the wins and the championships speak for themselves, but to be around these guys and see the things that they dealt with, and, you know, a lot of it, in my opinion, very unfair. But to see them come together, lean on each other, and win games and handle themselves in the right way, was, as a Alabama basketball fan and someone who's been in and around this program for decades now, really proud of these guys, and they'll always have a special place in my heart for what they accomplished and the way they conducted themselves. But just hate it for them that the season came to an end a little earlier than they wanted. But just when I look back, I'll just remember the championships, cutting down the nets, and being around, getting to be around these guys. This is a group that we'll celebrate for years to come. I mean, you know, they'll bring their kids back for reunions to celebrate the championships that they wanted. For me, that's why the SEC regular season title means so much, because you look at how hard it is to win in the national, you know, in the national tournament and the NCAA tournament. I mean, it's been 10 years since the number one overall seed has won the title, so it's not easy to do, and it doesn't usually happen where the team that has been at the top for the entire season actually wins the national championship. So to win an SEC regular season title means a lot. And then to follow it up with a tournament title, and then a Sweet 16 is nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, that's a great accomplishment. So even though it didn't end the way they wanted, this team has a long resume that they can be proud of, and those championships and rings and banners won't go away, and this team will be remembered fondly for years to come.
And finally, as we only have about a minute left, our conversation with Bryan Passink, talking Crimson Tide basketball. What are the next steps for this program? We know there's going to be some roster turnover, but some coaching turnover as well, as we are thrilled for Brian Hodgson, his new opportunity at Arkansas State, as well as Charlie Henry going to Georgia Southern. But what's going to be most important for the Tide moving forward in the next few weeks?
Well, you know, for me, I just love where this program is. I mean, it's not going away. Alabama basketball is nationally relevant, and that's not going to change anytime soon. To win 4 championships in the last 3 years, 2 regular season titles, 2 tournament titles, is incredible. And the coaches that are going to be moving on, that while in the short term isn't great, because those are terrific coaches who have made such an impact, but from a bigger picture standpoint, the top coaches and assistant coaches in the country see what's going on in Tuscaloosa with the basketball program. So Nados isn't going to have trouble, you know, putting that job listing out. He's going to have a bunch of highly qualified coaches that want that job. And same could be said for the roster. I mean, there are going to be guys, obviously, that go to the NBA and that move on. But Alabama now is a destination for coaches and players with the style of play, with the success, with the championships. There are going to be a lot of guys wanting to come play for Nate Oates in this program, whether they're high school players in the transfer portal. So I'm looking forward to this run to continue, and I can't wait for next year.
We're excited as well. Thank you for joining us, Bryan. Roll Tide.
Thanks, Roger. Roll Tide.
That's Bryan Passink. We want to say a special thanks to Onward Reserve, the official apparel provider of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, for all the great gear this year. Visit onwardreserve.com for all of your golf and game day apparel. Live authentically with Onward Reserve. Hey, Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Back to talk about what's next for the Crimson Tide coming up next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the Lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature. DiscoverTheForest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a
T.
You can bank right on your phone or
Tablet.
with the My Trustmark app. Our mortgage lenders will help you buy your dream
Two-story tutor.
And Trustmark Tailored Wealth offers
Tried and true.
advice that makes
Transforming.
your future a piece of
Toast?
nice. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At My Eye Doctor, we would never think of getting between you and your screen, except with blue light lenses. Eye strain can happen by spending hours and hours with devices, texting, gaming, binging. Our lens solutions can help minimize the stress and strain of harmful blue light. We welcome all insurances. Eye care and eyewear are better together at My Eye Doctor, Doctors of Optometry. Schedule an appointment today at myeydr.com.
Well, folks, this is going to be a good one as our drivers get ready to try the new Toyota from the 2023 lineup. And they're off!
The Ready, Set, Go event now through April 4th. Toyota, let's go places.
Get 2.9% APR for 36 months on a new 2023 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through April 4th, 2023. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.04 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
What's on tap next for Bama, presented by Bud Light, a proud sponsor of Alabama Athletics. Roll Tide with Bud Light. We'll have a lot of baseball, a lot of softball coming up across the Crimson Tide Sports Network. But that does it for tonight's Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Good night and Roll Tide.
Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, Hey Coach has been presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Also brought to you in part by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com or your local Ford dealer and score a Ford SUV today. Coke Zero Sugar, and refreshingly delicious. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today.